Hold on. All right, guys, we are live. Hey, what's going on, everybody? And it's Friday night. You know what that must mean? It's time for the MURF and EDUBBS show. EDUBBS, what's going on, my friend? How you doing tonight?
Hey, what's up, Rich? How you doing? As you can see, I have a little title under my name today.
You're a sports talk podcaster. I love it, dude. I love it. All right.
I was going to put vice president of sports talk podcasting, but not quite there yet, I don't think. Almost.
You're there. You're there.
You
I
think so,
you can name
Rich?
yourself
You think?
a vice president.
There we go. Okay, great. You give me a raise there too, huh?
You're VP of operations.
VP of operations, human resources, right? Everything in between, right?
Exactly. Because I can't handle none of that. I can just be funny when I can just be funny. You got to handle everything else.
Although, you know, I kind of listened to a little bit of your was it political one you did a couple of weeks ago?
Yes.
We the People, yeah. And you know, Rich, I couldn't be on that show, you know, so sorry.
No, you know what? Listen, I'm not going to talk about it a lot, but that's how I feel, dude. I know we don't want to talk about politics, but whether you want to vote for Donald Trump or not, America is being forced to vote for Donald Trump this year. That's the reason why he's going to win. Like I said, do I like him? I'm not saying I like the guy, but you know what, though? What are we going we're going to vote for the guy I saw giving a State of the Union address last night that didn't know his ass from his elbow? It's embarrassing right now, the state of affairs in America right now, dude. And like I said, the alternative is you got to vote for Donald Trump. You need a tough guy in there right now. And if you got, you know what, you got to take away, you got to take the goods with the bads on both sides. Yep. And I think that the good part about them being president is the fact that we need a strong guy running the country right now. And we'll take, at this point in time, I'll take the setbacks.
Rich, I'll vote for Pete Rose. How's that?
That's fine, man. Vote for anybody else but what's going on in the White House right now, because our country is in trouble right now, dude.
Let's have LeBron go against Pete Rose in the election. How's that?
I will vote for anybody if they're not attached to Joe Biden. I will literally I'll vote for anybody who's not attached to him, because it's embarrassing, dude. I know. Listen, you started. You got me going, dude. Come on, man. Listen,
okay, how about that?
Listening?
Pete Alonso just listening,
go to Keep Talking 365 at YouTube. I do about an hour rant on how this country is in absolute trouble right now. So,
well, Rich,
I won't do it right now because it's a sports show.
Yeah, we're going to be speaking for 8 hours next weekend. Why don't we fill everyone in? I mean, there's politics, and then there's our 8-hour diversion from politics, actually, at the Fishkill Rec. We'll be talking, we'll be announcing 6 beautiful, I should say, amazing basketball games next weekend, starting with 2 girls games, ending with 4 boys games, 8 hours of live coverage. We did it last April or March, whatever. It was a hoot. And actually, we're going to do something next Friday night. We're going to interview the kids before the games, because we never get to interview the losing teams, Rich. We only get to interview the winning teams and the award winners. I mean, you could be on an 09 team, win an award for Defensive Player of the Year, and, you know, you're going to come to us? No, you're going to go home, you know, because you're not the champion. So we're going to kind of do things a little different next Friday night. And our friend Peter Skorwitz from Video Ventures Limited will be involved. Jay will be involved. All the kids that work for Jay, the staff at the rec will be involved. It's going to be one fun-filled day, Rich. So I'm really looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to working with you again, because in the summer you couldn't make it. I had to do it solo, and I had like no voice at the end of the day.
Listen, I could go and go. You know that. I told Jay today, I said, Jay, I'm going to bring extra energy. And I think in his head, he's like, you could bring extra energy. So yeah, yeah, man, I'm looking forward to it. It's good that we're going to do the interviews the night before. Does he have anybody specifically he's going to line up for us, or anybody that wants to come through and just get like an interview and stuff?
Actually,
how's he going to run that?
Yeah, actually, he's going to call all the teams, the 2 championship teams that are playing each game, and we're gonna, whoever shows up, we'll interview. Awesome. And then, you know, the award winners too. Like, he's going to tell the kids not award what they won, but we could speculate to the kids, like, what award do you think you're going to win? So, yeah, so hopefully a lot of kids show up next Friday night. You can't always guarantee kids showing up Friday because the games are on Saturday, blah, blah, blah. But as far as I'm concerned, I heard the high school kids might be really excited about this on Friday night as well as Saturday.
Would you know it is Friday night? Don't Friday night? Don't they do the that thing at the teen center at the rec?
Oh, not next week. Not next week. No.
Oh, so I was thinking maybe a lot of those kids that are going to be playing in the game are probably at the teen center.
Yeah, no teen center next week. You know, Peter's gonna be setting up the cameras and stuff. So right. You know, high risk. You know, one kid gets angry or pops a camera, or another kid tries to walk off with the camera. You know, it's really a high risk. So Peter will be setting up. We'll be doing our interviewing, and he'll work in our interviewing to the streaming once it's all said and done. But we have the 6 games being live. And I heard somebody from Puerto Rico was watching last year. So we're going across the globe, Rich, very slowly. But hey, if you're in Australia, www.fishkillrecreation.com, you can watch the games.
I know people in Australia, and I'm going to tell them to watch. That'd be fantastic. My wife's best friend lives out in Australia.
Awesome. Come on,
we're going to
wake up Australia, wake up Liechtenstein. Come on.
We're going to have a lot of fun with this, because I remember last time, like, I guess we were doing the play-by-play. We had a lot of fun with the play-by-play. I gave the kids some nicknames and stuff like that. Yeah. And I think it went over well. I think the kids enjoy like the humor aspect of it. And I also, what I think the kids like? I think the kids like that when we sit down, like, listen, we're just a MURF and EDUBBS show. We're like 2 guys from Fishkill. We're not anything special. But I think when the kids like sit in front of us and they see a camera and they're talking to 2 guys that are just literally just talking to them and asking them how they feel, and makes them feel special for a couple of minutes, I think that's pretty cool. Even if they're on the losing end of the game, or they're just a kid that wants to get his voice out there, it's just, I think it's good for the kids. And I think they really have fun with answering the questions. And no matter, I remember last time we did it, and it didn't matter if the kids were from high school or the kids were like, from 3rd and 4th grade. They all had a great attitude. There's no kid that walked in there like they were too cool for school. So, like I keep saying, like, Jay does a great job down there. So in other words, the kids are really good, and they really flourish in that program, man, because apparently from what you're saying is that high school game at 7:15 when the tip-off is, that's going to be a pretty good game to watch. So I just realized that too. It's going to be a long day for us. We're going to be there from 11 to, I don't know, probably 9 o'clock. And I plan on keeping the podcast going on all day, guys. So if anybody wants to come through and sit down and talk sports, we'll do it. We're at a basketball function, but I am not opposed to talking about baseball, football, croquet, anything you guys want to talk about, soccer, EDUBBS. Maybe you want to bring in some competitive eaters for interviews, whatever,
I'm the ultimate competitive eater, Rich, so I'll be talking to myself, right?
I also think I'm going to get a big, I'm going to try and get a big poster like we have the MURF and EDUBBS thing. I think I'm going to get a kind of like a big poster and leave a marker there. And I want like all the kids to come through. I want all the kids to sign it and have Jay sign it and kind of like, have a little memento for us. You know what I mean? So I think that would be kind of cool.
Nice. You like chicken marsala, Rich?
I do. Jack makes a good marsala. Yes, he does. Yeah,
I just had my father-in-law's birthday. Happy birthday, Mark. He's 81 years old today. So we went over to Beacon. We had some nice dinner. And I had chicken marsala. I'm just adjusting this light here. It's crazy.
You went out to dinner in Beacon?
No, we took it. We brought it in.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I've been going through Beacon a lot lately, man. Beacon is awesome, dude. There's so much stuff there. There's bars, restaurants, little dessert places, shops. Like there's weed places up there now. It's such a cool little that Main Street is amazing.
Yeah, but don't run into the dummy light, Rich. The dummy light they have there, that little traffic light.
No, it's the dummy light.
You don't know the dummy light, huh? Well, there's a little traffic light as you're going towards Fishkill on Main Street. And somebody always runs into it, and somebody ran into it yesterday. It's just a traffic light that's been there for maybe 100 years, whatever, and they call it the dummy light. So yeah, do a Google on it, you'll find out. But hey, it's right by the weed store, by the way. So yeah, if you check it out. But yeah, no, definitely good restaurants. We went to Max's on Main a couple of weeks ago. It was really good.
Scott Parrish likes that place a lot.
Yeah, and we had some Italian tonight, and the only thing missing on Main Street's a good steakhouse. I've been to the Roundhouse. It's that hotel over there. Yeah, that's pretty good. But one thing's missing, a good steakhouse. But they have everything else. They have soul food. They got Italian. They got Asian, Thai. Everything you want is right under your. They even have a diner there too, and fried chicken, Kennedy Fried Chicken. So lots of places. It's definitely a town on the rise. I looked at some of these apartments, Rich. You're going for like $1 million for these apartments. It's crazy.
It's expensive. Now we're talking about restaurants. Now, as everybody knows, well, not everybody knows it. We know Jack's birthday is coming on March 13th. Jack's going to be 17. Now, listen, we all know Jack's story from me telling me like he wants to go to CIA. He wants to be a chef. His letter of distinction. We all know his story. So tomorrow night, you'll appreciate this. We have reservations up at Ristorante Caterina di Medici or whatever. I don't know if I pronounced it correctly, but that's the Italian restaurant up at CIA.
At the culinary, yeah, very nice.
I'm looking at the menu here. I mean, these places, these restaurants here, they're great restaurants. They're not run of the mill, like stopping off have some food. Like these are really, really high level restaurants. They got all sorts of awards and stuff. And this Italian restaurant that we're going to, I think it's got an award for best Italian cuisine, I think last year or something like that. Or
wow,
something like that. I mean, yeah. So tomorrow night we're going to be celebrating Jack's birthday on Saturday. We start, I'm going to take him over to dinner there. So he's pretty excited about that.
What looks good on the menu, Rich? What do you think you're going to get?
I can't read Italian, so I looked at the menu, so I can't really read Italian. If I see polo, I'm going to order it.
There you go. Can't go wrong with that. That's
funny.
It
seems very authentic. There's a lot of some fish, fish dishes and stuff like that. But it looks really good. I think I'm going to open up.
Yeah, get the pesque is the fish, right? The pesque, right?
I have some kind of trout dish there tomorrow night. So
wow, nice.
Like I said, I will definitely let you know how it is.
Yeah, give me your reviews. Enjoy. I mean, I'm always good to for new restaurants and stuff like that. But yeah, no. There's a place over here called Bert's. It's a bakery. You ever hear Bert's? It's right on Robinson. It's like across the street from Fishkill Tire. It's that little street right there. It's like a little highway. Yeah, they make these pretzels, Rich. They're $10, but the pretzels are literally like this big. They're amazing, and you have to get there. So I stopped in 8:30 last week, and the girl said, "Come back in an hour." And I was so damn sure I got there at 9:30, and there it was. Just came right out of the oven. He even told me I had to crack the box, or else it was going to a lot of condensation. So the thing was amazing. I think I ate the whole thing all by myself.
Did you dip any? Well, you're not a dipping guy, but did they give you any dipping sauces with it?
They do. They give you cheese sauce. Yeah.
Right.
Whatever.
Well, they had those pretzels like that over there at Patsy's Roadhouse, which is where Jack's going to start working there actually next Saturday. Jack's going to start working at Patsy's Roadhouse next week.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Somebody told me they had them over there and stuff. There's a place by my mom's house too. I think it's a popular thing now. These really giant pretzels, I mean, literally, I ate the whole thing by myself, Rich. I didn't share. It was gone. And it's very addictive too. I mean, I've been getting them like once every couple of weeks. And every time I drive on Main Street there, I always want to make that right turn. But, like the old cartoons with the angel and the devil sitting here, the angel's telling me don't do it. The devil's saying make the turn. And all of a sudden, right on the Robinson Lane to get one. But yeah, they're really good. Highly recommended and stuff. But yeah, other than that, the food tonight was delicious. I had marsala and I had a big plate of now let me tell you about angel hair. Angel hair is my favorite pasta. I don't know about you. But,
I like it. Yeah, I love it. It's nice and thin.
It's really psychological. I remember when and I'm embarrassed to say this, but I've been to Olive Garden. But I remember Olive Garden had all you could eat pasta, and I would get the angel hair. I could eat 3 plates of angel hair, but I can only eat 1 plate of penne or something. It's amazing. It's the same pasta, the same whatever, but angel hair goes down so I love it. It's the best. With garlic and oil, you could probably smell the garlic from where you are right now, Rich. I'm reeking here.
Really? Yeah, I like the angel hair pasta too. Angel hair pasta is actually it's delicious. Like like Jack makes it himself.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he makes his own stuff. Yeah, you don't need to go out for that. Yeah. And then I had a nice little round little cheesecake with fruit on top of it. I put it on my Facebook page. So I had the blueberries, strawberries, kiwi, and blackberries. So it's pretty good getting your nutrition while you're eating something bad, I guess, right? The fruit and the
I put Jack made smash burgers tonight, so I'm gonna have to put the new pictures up there. He had smash burgers.
So what do you put on the smash burger? What do you put on them?
What did he put? He made them. I don't know. Oh, he put for mine it was shredded lettuce, I think mayo, ketchup, American cheese, onion, and something else.
Wow.
But he made it was a triple decker. He made and actually on a brioche bun, which he made himself. He made his own.
Wow. Yeah, the brioche is good. It kind of like
got the brioche buns down pat, dude. Like he's been working on it, but tonight he's got them. They're perfect.
They kind of like absorb the meat. Yeah. Oh, they're really good. Really good.
Amazing. He made triple deckers. He made triple decker.
Wow. Amazing.
On the half one upstairs. So after the podcast, I'm probably gonna go finish it.
There you go. Yeah, definitely. But yeah, so that's that was good. I had a nice meal. Sounds like you had a nice meal. So
yes,
we're ready to go here. So how was your week? Anything out of the ordinary or anything? Or no?
Nothing. Nothing out of the ordinary. But we're gonna like you said, we're gonna jump right back. I want to talk about something. I know you're not a big boxing fan, right? I mean,
let me tell you my thing with boxing, Rich. And it's funny because a guy came up to me at work one time. He said, "You played on you played sports." I said, "Yeah." He goes, "You played on a team, right?" I said, "Well, how do you know that?" Because you're a team player. You always, you want to help this person, that person. You want to get the job done. He goes, "Yeah." I said, "I'm not into," and I really gave it thought, Rich. Like, I don't like golf. I don't like tennis. I don't like boxing. And I'm thinking, like, what are these 3 sports compared to the sports I like? They're individual sports where I'm only like into the team sports. So I can't watch golf. I can't watch tennis. I just don't like it, But yeah, my dad was a big boxing fan. He used to tell me about every Friday night, I guess Gillette Friday Night Fights or something like that. The music and everything, the Gillette music. So every night he would watch every Friday night he'd watch boxing. He loved it. But I never got the boxing DNA, Rich, but I'll let you take it away.
Yeah, I listen. I used to love boxing. Like boxing, brings back memories for me. Like being at my grandparents' house, back in the day, like in Staten Island. Everybody would be over there. We'd over there eating my grandmother's pot roast, and all the aunts and uncles and cousins would be there. We'd be really young. I just remember the Wide World of Sports being on Channel 7.
The agony of defeat. Remember the skier, Rich, on that introduction?
Yeah, the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat.
Was it Keith Jackson, right, who hosted that, right? I think so.
Yeah. But what I remember so vividly about that is the fact that you would watch a fight at 3:00 on a Sunday afternoon, and it's not a pay-per-view event, but you're literally watching Sugar Ray Leonard, and you're watching Roberto Duran and Marvin Hagler, and you're watching all these really, really big name fighters just fighting on Sunday afternoons. And just boxing progressed from there. Then they had all these, I could name the laundry list of fighters, to come through. And then finally Mike Tyson came onto the scene, and and I think when Mike Tyson came onto the scene, I think that maybe, or it definitely is when the pay-per-view events really started getting into, they started making money off the pay-per-views and stuff like that. But watching Mike Tyson was so fierce, man. Mike Tyson was, when he came on the scene and he was young, listen, the guy's an animal. The guy's a maniac. He's got a lot of, he had a rough upbringing, growing up in Brownsville. The guy is a killer. I mean, he's literally people are afraid of him. So, and he comes into boxing. He's just literally beating the shit out of everybody. And I remember I was working at the movie theater up on Bell Boulevard in Queens the night that Mike Tyson lost to Buster Douglas that night. And obviously it was because, he was partying and he took it lightly. So we all know Mike Tyson's story. Mike Tyson is a certified killer, and he's one of the best boxers ever to put on a set of gloves. And he got money stolen from him, got into drugs a little bit. But anyway, the point I'm going to make now about what's going on with boxing is 2 points. Okay. I'll parlay the point with Mike Tyson. Now, I'd like to know what Mike Tyson is doing right now. Now, if you would ask me 5 people, if I could sit down and have a conversation with and talk, Mike Tyson is in my top 5, no doubt. I think he's one of the most interesting guys. I think he's misunderstood to a degree. And I think that I don't think that people understand and realize the degree of shit that he ate as a kid, or stuff that he saw as a kid to make him the person that he is today. All right. Now you have this kid, Jake Paul. Okay. Jake Paul is a boxer, likes to think of himself as a legitimate boxer. Okay. But at the end of the day, he's a YouTuber. He's a guy that, interviews people, and listen, he does a good job. He's do you know who he is? Do you know who Jake Paul is?
Never heard of him.
Jake Paul, like I said.
I know who Chris Paul is. Chris Paul, not Jake.
Yeah, but I can tell you right now, I think a lot more people know who Jake Paul is than Chris Paul in this world, because the guy is literally, he's one of the top YouTubers in the world. He's got multi-millions and millions of dollars, but he's got a brother too, and he's got a younger brother, and he's got a story too. But at the end of the day, they're both just douche YouTubers. But he's taken on to boxing. Okay, he's starting to become a boxer. In the beginning, he's been fighting. He's not really fighting professional fighters. He's fighting ex-MMA guys, and he's boxing, and he's beating them, which is fine. He's boxing and he's beating MMA guys. Not going to take anything away from the kid's skill, but I think to a degree, he's kind of not making a mockery out of boxing, but he's kind of I don't know. I lost you, but anyway, he's kind of just he's a boxer, but I really don't feel that he really fought anybody of any character. Let me pause this for a second, because I don't know what happened to E. E's device was not connected. So I'm going to continue the story so he hears what I'm saying. And maybe he just left on purpose because he doesn't want to talk about Jake Paul. But I don't know. I don't know if I have a problem with it. Okay. As much as, I don't know if I have a problem with it. I'm just getting a little distracted here now that E isn't here. I don't know what's going on. So let me just send him a text mid live show. E, everything okay? All right, he'll get that text. It says his device isn't connected anymore. So maybe I'm just going to have to send him the other link again. But anyway, I don't know how I feel about it. Coming from somebody who, like I just said to you, we watch boxing on Sunday afternoons, at my grandparents' house in Staten Island, and there were good fights. And I can remember watching Larry Holmes and George Foreman and Mike Tyson, Evander Holyfield, Lennox Lewis, Marvin Hagler, Oscar De La Hoya, Floyd Mayweather, Greg Haugen, Pazienza. I mean, you name it. All these guys, laundry list of amazing boxers. I guess E's trying to Says your device isn't connected, E. I don't know. Think I may have to send you another invite. Let me send you another invite. I don't know if you could hear me, but I might send you another invite. Let's see. We're gonna have to go live. This would be a good spot to I was just getting into a good conversation about this too. But anyway, I do digress, as I say. But like I said, I just went through the whole laundry list of great boxers, and I don't know what happened to boxing along the way. Maybe it got less. You know what it is? I think MMA took over UFC. Now the UFC is just out of control right now. Everybody's watching UFC. I mean, and that is, if you want to see some really good competition, you want to see some really great athletes, that's where it is. I mean, you're going to turn on the UFC and you are going to see from the smallest of cards to the biggest of cards, you're going to see people getting in there trying to rip each other's heads off just for the fact to say that they're two men and I beat another man in the ring. Now, when you look at MMA and you look at boxing, right? Now, to me, those two sports are completely different. And when I say they're two completely different sports, I mean that UFC these guys are tip-top shape athletes. They're fighting machines. They're wrestlers. They're jiu-jitsu. They karate. Like you name it, their sport. As a kid, just like football players that play in the NFL, these kids were kicking everybody's ass and they were wrestling in high school, or they're kicking everybody's ass in local dojos. And these are the kids that are in UFC right now, and they're joining these UFC gyms. But you have so many different types of ways to get out of different moves, and you could wrestle and you could punch. And when you're boxing another man and you're standing toe to toe and you're just putting your hands up and you're asking him to, let's go. There's something a little different about that. And when I mean there's something a little different, there he is. E. I can't hear you, dude. Everything. Oh, hold on. I'm going to bring you up the stage.
Yeah. You hear me?
What happened, dude?
You hear me?
I can hear you now. Yeah. What happened?
I don't know. It just went blank all of a sudden.
All right. Well, you weren't paying attention anyway, but I have to finish
maybe because of the boxing talk, it just threw me off.
Well, like I said, you weren't paying attention anyway, but I've been let me finish up this conversation I have. Let me let you know what's going on. So I was telling you about how boxing was so relevant back then and all the boxers that came through. And now Jake Paul, there's this YouTuber. Now, Mike Tyson, they've been saying that Mike Tyson is going to get in the ring with this kid, Jake Paul. Okay. Now it's going to happen. It's happening. July something, July 20th on Netflix. Now, the amount of money and viewership that this kid, Jake Paul, brings in is astronomical. Now, you talk about guys got hundreds of millions of viewers. I mean, 70 million viewers, 100 million viewers. So to him, this is a spectacle. But it's also, he's trying to learn a new craft. Now, he's going in there with people that were MMA guys. Now, older. Now, I don't think Mike Tyson has it in him to have that off switch. Now, if he gets into this ring with Jake Paul, he's a tall kid. He's like 7 or 8 inches taller than him. But I don't think Mike Tyson has that switch to go half cocked and realize that he might really hurt this person. Now, whereas all these other guys that he fought, I mean, I guess he legitimately won, but they're not Mike Tyson. Now, this is going to be a spectacle. It's going to get a lot of money. And Mike Tyson seems to think it's going to put boxing back on the map. What I got to say about that is, let's see what happens. And if I just have to believe in my own head that if anybody is going to dispel this myth and make it not a mockery, it's going to be Mike Tyson. He has to go into there and he's got to punch this kid in the face twice and knock him off his high horse. Because I don't think in this kid's mind, he thinks he could beat Mike Tyson. But I also heard the story of Mike Tyson last time when he fought Roy Jones Jr. for that little spectacle. They both smoked a huge blunt together and they were high as kites in the ring. That was the last time. But at the end of the day, he's probably going to make a lot of money. And I really just hope Mike Tyson goes into this and kind of like humbles this kid, Jake Paul, a little bit. Because if you really look into him a little bit, Ian, you don't even know who he is. If you look into him a little bit, you'll do a 10-minute search on him. You'll be like, this kid is a douche. So
Rich,
I think at the end of the day, I want Mike Tyson to just beat the shit out of him and humble this kid.
How old is Mike Tyson now? How old is he?
Mike Tyson's 56, dude. And this kid
He's been around forever.
This kid's like 30 or something. Now, all right. Now that's the Mike Tyson thing. And I promise you there's one more boxing note and it'll only take about 3 minutes and you might be interested in this. Do you know who Ryan Garcia is?
No.
Right now, Ryan Garcia is one of the best boxers in the entire world. Right now, Ryan Garcia is being called crazy. You know why? He went on a podcast the other day and said he was kidnapped by people, brought to an island called Bohemian Garden, and he watched people drink children's blood. He said that I was kidnapped. I was brought to an island. These elite people are trying to kill me. They want me to lose. It's because of my faith in God. Satan is coming to get me, and I'm going to be crucified like Jesus Christ. He says he was kidnapped by the elite in Hollywood, and he was brought to this place, and he was made to watch people have sex with children and to drink the blood of little children. Now, he's been talking like this his whole time. Now, this guy is either out of his mind crazy, or he's going up against his fight he's got coming up. He's 24-1, and he's fighting Devin Hanley, who's 31-0. I don't see this as a publicity stunt, and I think more and more people are hopping onto this bandwagon that there is something going on in Hollywood with the Hollywood elite, dude. There is something going on there. And I think people like that, now all of a sudden he's shutting up and he's saying, oh, I was just trolling. His dad says, that's my son. He's just trolling. His ex-wife says, I am really, really worried about this guy because he is talking crazy shit. If you want to have some entertainment, just Google Ryan Garcia and read for about 15 minutes about the stuff he's been tweeting about, dude. He is literally either 100% right or he's really crazy. And Cat Williams is another guy. You got to see what he's talking about, too. Cat Williams is putting down some great shit, too, man.
So these guys are boxers, Rich?
Ryan Garcia is a boxer. Cat Williams is a comedian.
Maybe he got hit in the head a little too much, Ryan Garcia, right?
I don't know, man. There's too many people. I don't know. There's too many people that have these type of stories. I would just, he's in Oscar De La Hoya's camp. And I feel bad for the kid if it is just like a mental breakdown because he has said in the past how depressed he was and how he sees things and, how he's bipolar and stuff. So I just hope that it's just another guy with mental health trying to reach out because the right people need to be reaching out to this kid because he really does sound crazy. And if he has any friends out there or any family to grab him and just hug him or something and just tell him that, listen, man, everything's going to be okay. Somebody, a buddy of his has to go check on that guy if he's legitimately crazy because he is talking some crazy, crazy shit, dude. And he is a multi-gazillionaire boxer, dude, and one of the best in the world. And this is what he's talking about on Twitter, dude.
Wow.
So I just had to get that out there because I think it's nuts, man.
Yeah. So is it still organized boxing? What was it? The WBC? It's still the WBC?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. I mean, Jake Paul is kind of like an amateur boxer. Like he's not fighting another 30-year-old professional boxer.
Yeah.
Like he's getting his amateur fights and he's fighting Mike Tyson for a reason because it's a spectacle and he's 58.
I think boxing, I think of Muhammad Ali, Ken Norton, George Foreman, those were the days. And it seems like I don't follow it, but it seems like there's a whole new, those guys are old anyhow, but it's a whole new crop here. Muhammad Ali, of course, no longer with us. Is Don King still around, Rich?
I don't even know if he's alive or not. He's not involved with I don't think he's involved in boxing anymore. I haven't heard his name. Like I said, I really have been falling off with boxing for the last maybe 10 years because there really has been no competition out there. But these stories like this just come out. And this is actually a kid that I've been watching. Aiden turned me on to this kid 4 or 5 years ago. I mean, he's all of 130 pounds of nothing, and he hits like he's 200 and something pounds. Dude. I mean, he's unbelievable. And he's like a pretty boy, like Oscar De La Hoya. I don't know if you remember who Oscar De La Hoya was. But again, I mean, just from somebody I do the other podcast, like Shooting the Breeze, and I talk about a lot about men's mental health and shit. And that's real stuff, man.
I think you need Ryan Garcia as a host on the show. Excuse me.
I don't even know if you know who Andrew Tate is, but Andrew Tate is a certified lunatic. And Andrew Tate, he was on Andrew Tate's podcast the other day. And even Andrew Tate was like, yo, Ryan Garcia, you got to chill out a bit. You're talking some crazy shit. And Andrew Tate's a lunatic. And he's telling Ryan Garcia he's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I don't watch it. I know Ultimate Fight Challenge. My son Ben's coming home tomorrow. But I said, are you staying? He goes, no, I got to get back to school because we're going to watch the Ultimate Fight Challenge tomorrow night. So never watched that either. So
Aiden too. I'm telling you, they're all into the UFC now. It's a big fight tomorrow night.
A lot of money being bet on the UFC too as well. It's a big gambling thing now. But I think it's pay-per-view as well. I don't know. I guess the kids all chipped in. They watch it on a big screen or something like that.
It's humongous. UFC is humongous, right? Dana White is an absolute genius. He's a genius. And you know why he's a genius? Because people talk about his brand or whatever they say. He doesn't give a shit about what he says because UFC is his brand. You know who fires him if he says something that no one likes? Him. So he could say whatever he wants, dude. And him and Joe Rogan's his boy. Joe Rogan's been with him since the beginning. And UFC is humongous. And like I said, you really don't know too much about it. I know a little bit fraction about it, but if you ever want to get into one of those combat sports, and watch like one of those one-on-one sports, obviously Ben's into it. I'm telling you, dude, it's really, really entertaining, man. It's not like watching something where you're going to see, somebody's really getting their ass kicked. No, these two men are in there beating the shit out of each other for one cause, and it's usually a really good fight. You're never seeing anybody really getting their asses kicked. You know what I mean? Well, you do, but like it's a good fight all the time. It's really UFC's cool, man. You should get into it. You should.
Yeah. And you said who's the promoter? Dana
White.
Yeah, I guess I take a quote from History of the World. It's great to be the king, right? Nothing can be done. Nothing. He's his own boss. So, and he's making a lot of money in those events and stuff like
millions. But he's not saying, he's admittingly, he's like, he's making millions. But you talk to this guy and people say like he works 24 hours a day. He's always talking. He's always on social media. He's always at meetings. He's always promoting fights. One of these fighters, and when these fighters get messed up or whatever, he pays their bills, dude. Like he's like, I mean, he's paying millionaires bills. So it's like he takes care of his brand and his people, and his people love him, dude. Love him.
Wow.
So I mean, he's doing something absolutely right. Something he's doing is absolutely right.
Yeah, not like Scott Boros with his clients, right?
Bro, I mean, you want to go right? Is it what we're trying to do? We're going right into baseball.
Well, Rich, the boxing really, you have your coffee, but sorry about that.
No, I hear you. But like, I'm going into baseball. I'm done with the boxing. Like I said, I literally just had to get those two things out of there. But we're going right into baseball.
Like I said, Rich, when I wanted to watch boxing as a kid, I would just turn on a hockey game.
Yeah, well, yeah. Hockey's doing pretty good too. Rangers
or a baseball game. A lot of fights in baseball nowadays too, right?
Baseball needs a lot more fighting.
Yeah. So one thing, Rich, that just got my mind. We were talking about fighting and stuff, and I don't know why it crossed my mind, but if you're watching college basketball lately and you see these kids, I guess they rush the court, whatever, and we've seen a couple of kids get hurt already because of this. And they said, well, kids always been doing that since the 1940s and stuff, but I think the behaviors now of kids are a little bit different than the kids in the 1940s. I don't know why they still allow it. It just looks like a madhouse. It looks like someone could get trampled one day or something like that. It's just amazing how nobody comes out and is killed or something like that.
Yeah, I haven't really been paying attention to college basketball at all. I mean,
So Caitlin Clark, she's the all-time scorer.
Yes.
So she actually passed Pistol Pete Maravich. So she's not only the all-time women's scorer, but she's the all-time scorer in college basketball. So there was a game where fans were rushing the court, and one girl just like ran right into her, basically almost ended her season. I mean, I don't know if she almost got hurt and stuff. And then there was another incident. I think it was like a Duke or North Carolina was involved, and one of the stars got hurt and stuff. So, it's just, I don't know. It's crazy as it seems, but you're going to see someone get really hurt one day because of this, because we're not civilized anymore, Rich. We do stunts. We jump out of planes. We do all this crap because we watch on TikTok. These kids just it's just unbelievable. It's totally different than it was in the 70s. I mean, look at Yankee Stadium. Chris Chambliss' home run. Yankee Stadium goes bedlam. There's guys on the field and stuff. Chambliss knocks a guy over. But can you imagine going on a field at Yankee Stadium today? Fans are good. You need Wade Boggs on that horse again from 1996.
Yeah.
Right?
Let me, you know what? You just reminded me of something. Remind me a second. You mentioned what's her name? The girl from Iowa.
Caitlin Clark.
You know what? And you know what we feel. I feel, whatever. She is doing something right now that is legitimately awesome, dude. And she is such a down to earth, cool girl. I mean, like she gets it, dude. She's gonna be the face of the WNBA when she gets it.
No doubt.
I'm telling you right now. The WNBA. It's competitive. Like, it's compared to men's. It's like, I mean, I can watch women's basketball, but you know what I'm trying to say. But anyway, she is going to do really, really good things for the WNBA because she's going to get there and she's going to become some kind of, like, I guess, ambassador. But I do want to mention something. And when I say this, it might sound crazy, but we have a girl in our community right here, okay, that's playing basketball. And the Sweeneys are friends of ours. Her name is Gabby Sweeney. Okay, she goes to John Jay. Now, that night that Jack got that letter of distinction, the board meeting was going on. And I know she's a junior. Okay. Is she a junior or a sophomore? I think it'd be even crazier if she's a sophomore. But she just eclipsed 1,000 points for a high school career herself.
Oh, wow. At third year.
Yes. Now, this girl is the epitome of what somebody that's going to go and take their skill to the highest level. I don't know if I told you in the past, we had gone on vacation with them in the past. I'm an early riser. It's like I'd get up in the morning at 4 o'clock in the morning. She's already out there on the court going back and forth doing dribbling drills and exercises and stuff. Now, her name is Gabby Sweeney. Now, I'm telling you right now, this might just because you are going to hear this girl's name. I wouldn't be surprised if you hear it like this girl, Caitlin, whatever her name is, because she's going to Bryant. I think that's the college that she's going to go to.
Oh, in Massachusetts by Boston, I guess.
Yeah. But she was being touted by also she ran into Gino. What's his name in Gino? Was it Gino? The guy from Connecticut.
Yeah, Gino Amarula. Yeah, something
crazy thing. She's telling me a story. She runs into him in the airport. She recognized him, but that's not the person. He recognized her in the airport.
Wow. Impressive.
Like, from kind of like from scouting film and everything like that. And
impressive.
Kind of hooked her up with some interviews. But this girl has a very, very promising athletic career. And that's why every time I hear this girl, Gabby, can definitely be this girl because she is an unbelievable athlete. And I'm so happy for this girl that from Iowa. I'm so happy for her. I really am.
Yeah. Well, Caitlin definitely put college basketball on the map. And to pass Pistol Pete Maravich, that's amazing too, and stuff like that. Pete Maravich.
Listen, I don't want to hear what anybody says about it as far as like it's a girl, a sport, and a boy. She's playing against her peers.
Yeah, no.
In other words,
it's still a sport. Yeah.
Right. No, what I'm saying, no, not even saying that's not even a sport. Like you want to say, like, she's a woman basketball player. Okay, she's playing against her peers. So in other words, same with the men. The men play against their peers. She is the best college basketball player in college right now. She's amazing. Amazing. It doesn't minimize anything because it's like they're playing against their peers. I mean, you want to go into the whole fight that's going on in Congress now, why you want to let boys play with girls. I mean, now let me ask you a question, okay? You don't have to comment about this, but this is kind of sports related, okay? Say you're that girl, Caitlin, I keep forgetting her last name, okay?
Clark.
Say you're Caitlin, whatever, okay? She's been obviously playing basketball at a high level, okay? Now she's a senior in high school. All of a sudden, Charles Barkley with the wig on becomes a senior and wants to play on the basketball team, okay? Now, when I'm saying that, it's like, and I don't feel bad saying this. If you're transitioning from a male to a female, you should not be playing sports with girls. You want to put girls to play with boys, that's fine, but it's a matter of science, okay? And if anybody has a problem with that, because how would you be like to be that girl or the swimmer from Penn State who's been working her entire life, holds all these records, and then to have some guy jump in a pool with her and break her record in 1 year? It's not fair, dude. It's not.
Definitely not fair.
Why when I say what she's doing is amazing because she's doing it with her peers. Now, if something like I said, if Charles Barkley with the wig on came to like dunking the basketball over her head, that's just not fair to anybody.
Exactly. I think even the men's game, Charles Barkley with a wig on is not fair.
Yo, I love Charles Barkley and Shaquille O'Neal because even when they're not on the same broadcast together, they're still making fun of each other, dude.
Oh,
Charles Barkley was on some random show the other day where they were talking about like stuff in the ocean, right? And they brought up some kind of specific whale, and they were talking about a whale. He's like, well, I don't know. I know somebody at home right now that looks really like a whale. That's probably watching.
Oh, jeez.
And it's just like the thing is like Shaq's always catching strays.
Yeah, that whale they were talking about. That's pretty. It's pretty incredible because that whale hasn't been seen in the Atlantic Ocean for like 200 years, basically. So they said it swam all the way from the Pacific to the Atlantic, and it's just pretty wild that that species has not been seen for over 200 years. So,
it's nature, dude. It's nature. It's like we know nothing about it. We know zero about it. We know
Rich,
about dogs
you know how much
in our house.
You know how much of the planet we don't know about, Rich?
We know nothing.
Even our own country, there's probably areas that have been not even touched by man and stuff like that. It's crazy. It's so hard to believe.
Think about some of these places when you hear like a murder happen. Let's just say like a murder happening like in a little bumfuck town, and like everybody's scouring the area. Sometimes you look and like there's just acres and miles of nothing. Like when that girl Gabby, whatever her name is, Petito, when her husband murdered her and put her body into the Everglades. How are you going to find a body in the Everglades, dude? I mean, you're right, man. There's so much of our country that we probably don't even know about.
But just think about the world too. It's 70% water, Rich. So there's just so much stuff that we don't know about. Exactly, I agree. And but it's good to see this nature story sometimes with this whale. And hope he wants to stay in the Atlantic. Maybe he'll like the East Coast.
Yeah, maybe. I'm sure we'll give him a name and everything, and it'll be all big thing. He'll be on
Oh,
Twitter.
he'll have his own X account too.
Yeah, I
So,
Twitter, but yeah.
You know, that owl did too. The owl in Central Park that died recently, crashed into the building. He had his own Twitter. The Yankee turtle, remember they used to bring that turtle in the locker room? He had his own Twitter. So, you know, a lot of people have their own Twitter. Well,
Eric,
animals have their own Twitter.
Eric, watch it. This is all a clever ruse to cover up our eyes to what's going on, dude. There is bad things going on in this world right now, dude. And they're killing us with these little stories, and they're telling us to feel bad for this one. But the world is like ending right in the front of our eyes, dude. It's a bad thing, right? And I understand that we're talking about a sports show and it's our distraction, but it's to a point where you can't get away from it, dude. It's like, you know what it is? It's like something has to be done, and it's just like it just engulfs every conversation. It really does.
So, Rich,
it's more polarizing than anything's ever been in my lifetime.
Well, can you imagine the world ending and the Jets not winning a Super Bowl?
I couldn't. So then I'd have to be dead and be
in
unhappy.
Your lifetime, they won the Super Bowl.
I'd be dead and unhappy.
Well, I did see something today, and I know you're going to be happy about it. The Jets got a pick, and it might be Mr. Irrelevant. So if they follow what San Francisco did with Mr. Purdy, the Jets might have